Hello, 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 sipping thinkers. I know if you saw me go on for a quick second, I was having some technical difficulties. So tonight's topic, as you read in the line, is average is as average does. Average people are talking about you. Now, Sherry, why would you come up with this topic? Because I was trying to figure out how to connect with people. I was trying to figure out how to connect with people. I kept thinking to myself, like, Sherry, what is wrong with you? Like I questioned myself. I like to connect with people. And being on YouTube, it's a whole nother world. And I was watching some other videos and some other YouTubers, and obviously they like to give constructive criticism or they like to give instructions on how to connect with the audience. So I started saying to myself, all right, well, wh- wh- who are you talking to? Are you talking to yourself? In one of the videos, they talked about how small YouTube channels, when they get on, they literally talk to people as if they already know them. So I started thinking about that and was like, how can I talk to people on YouTube to get them to get to know me? What are some of the topics that would be interesting to them? So of course, I did what I always do is I go to Google and I research topics. And believe it or not, people actually Google, what do people like talking about most? What do average people talk about? What do they mean by an average person? What are the traits of an average person? 8 characteristics of average people. Notice how I went from the first question, what do people like talking about the most? And then it went down into average people. So that's just kind of how I started doing it. So here we go. Of course, thanks for joining me on Sip and Think. I've got my Sip and Think mug with the red trim. It is snowing out. And I also want to take a moment to give some prayers out to those who are affected by the LA fires. So we should all just say some prayers. All right. So average is as average does. Average people are talking about you. Now, I have my notes. So I came prepared. What do people in general, like talking about most? And Google came up with 8 topics. People like talking about themselves. Hence, if I'm on YouTube and I'm trying to connect with someone, I'm probably going to talk about myself. However, in some of the training that I've been listening to, it says small YouTube channel creators will get on there and just talk about themselves as if everybody already knows them. And I am a victim of that. I get on here thinking, hey, you're going to know who Sherry is and exactly what she's doing and, you know, already relate to me. But the truth is, you don't know me. You don't know much about me. You only know about me from what you see in the first 30 seconds, and you only know about me from what I create and post on YouTube. Unless you're someone that grew up with me and you follow me on Facebook and Instagram and you go to my blog, so other than that, you're just going to kind of, this is what you get, right? So, yeah, number 1 is themselves. People like talking most about themselves. I can definitely tell you I do a lot of talking about myself. More than anything else, most people love to talk about themselves. That's number 1 on Google if you research what do people like talking about most. All right. Number 2 is they like talking about their environment and their surroundings. So obviously, whatever environment they are in, whether they're inside or outside, traveling or not, you're gonna be able to see their energy. It's gonna radiate, right? And we all know that saying. I can't remember it right now. That's not the saying. Um, people can't, what is it? People can't grow in environments that are meant to destroy them or something like that. Basically, what it means is if you're in a toxic environment, how are you really gonna grow from that? You have to step out of that toxic environment, right? Similar to if I'm only in my environment, as in where I grew up, and I come on here and I talk to you and I'm talking about myself and my environment, the people that know me or live in my environment are going to understand it. So if I'm a small YouTube channel and I'm on here and I'm trying to tell a story, I have to understand and look at it from the person viewing me on YouTube's perspective. Because if I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's snowing right now, and, oh, we have to all go get our milk and bread," and they're probably being like, "What are you talking about?" Like, where I'm from in my environment is anytime it snows or there's a storm, whether it's hurricane or not, you know, our parents would tell us that we had to not be on the road and that we had to all go to the store and fill up on milk and bread. Yeah. So, again, this is sip and think, whether it makes sense or it doesn't. That's why we communicate, right? There's no right or wrong answer, right? So number 2 is their environment and surroundings. So people like to talk about their environment and their surroundings. I love talking about my surroundings when I am on vacation. I love showing people where I travel to. I'm so excited to travel there. My other point that I was trying to come up with was that with our surroundings, and I'm losing it again, that means I'm not supposed to say, oh, I know what it is. It's the if I'm on YouTube and I'm trying to connect with other people as a small YouTube creator, and they don't know much about me, right? See if I'm saying this correctly. Me as the creator, sometimes when I'm talking to you as the viewer, I'm only focused on my surroundings, my environment, and what's going on with me, almost like tunnel vision, that I can't see the bigger picture, right? So if I was to take myself and put myself as the viewer, I'd be like, what is she talking about? And then I ask myself, why would anyone want to listen to me? That's kind of where I'm at with trying to build my YouTube channel and express myself creatively and speak my mind. Number 3 is current events on the news and or popular television shows they are watching. So if I am watching a show like Family Feud or Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, because those are shows that I enjoy watching, maybe that's a show I'm going to talk about. To be completely honest with you, I don't watch much of TV shows. I do like to watch some Netflix series, especially if I get a good one. Um, I don't know what that was. It looked like a little pause for a second. Ooh, my spirit guides are talking to me. Yes, I believe in spirit guides. They're always talking to me. Believe in signs. Current events on the news. So I do watch the news. I do watch the news. Um, I can't watch it all the time because sometimes it's too negative. But whenever especially with weather, I will watch the news. I will. I'll be like glued to it and be like, oh my God, we gotta batten down the hatches. We gotta get the generator out. We gotta make sure we have fuel for the generator. We gotta make sure that we have a cooler just in case the power goes out. So, like, I'm always trying to prepare. And, you know, I went to an event um, for Rhode Island FEMA. I'm from Rhode Island, and I went to a professional event, and one of the Rhode Island FEMA professionals was there, and they gave a presentation on um, emergency preparedness. I have this red bag with a list of emergency preparedness. And if I find it in my house, I'm not sure if I left it at work because it was a work function, but I brought it home because I wanted to start putting an emergency prepared bag together for myself. I mean, right now, if we're going to talk about the weather is kind of a little kooky. Like, seriously, it really is. Like, it's snowing in the South, it's snowing in the Mid-Atlantic, like, huge storms. What about the wind in California? How crazy is that? You know? Like, it's just it doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, big, fat, whatever. I'm not into all that kind of stuff, so it's like, it doesn't matter as a human being. I don't like to see other people struggle and go through horrible things. I really don't. So, anyways, average people are talking about you. Why is that part of my topic? Well, we're going to keep going. So, if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. Number 4, people like talking about stuff they hate or dislike. How come they don't talk about things that they like and love? Why is it always got to be something they hate and dislike? Hmm? Well, bad news travels fast. We know that. Why can't good news travel just as fast? All right. Number 5 is sports. You got all kinds of sports. In my house, it's basketball and football. I was a softball girl myself and a cheerleader for both football and basketball. But a lot of people like to talk about sports. My husband is sports fanatic. ESPN, Stephen A, First Take, Around the Horn, 24/7. Sports, 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 sports. People like sports. Number 6, people like to talk about their children and or pets. Believe it or not, some people treat their pets like their children. They do. And nothing wrong with it, because honestly, when my pets get sick or hurt, I'm like, oh, baby, it's okay. It's okay. Mommy's here. Mommy's here. And then when they're jumping all around, and just as you walk in, I'm trying to walk in with 800 bags, and I'm like, oh, I've just had a long day. Can you get down for a second? All right, give me 2 seconds. Or my dog wants to go outside because he has to go to the bathroom. but I have to go to the bathroom, so I stop to go to the bathroom first before I bring him outside, and, like, he's, like, panting and crying, and I'll look at him and be like, "Alright, give me a second, I just have to finish going to the bathroom, and then I'll take you out. Can you just give me 1 second?" And as a mom, every time you had to use the bathroom, your kids were right in there with you. "Oh, mom, I need this. Mom, I need that." But before you went in the bathroom, the kids you say to them, "Do you need anything?" And they're, like, off doing their own thing, and then as soon as you go to the bathroom, they need something. So, it is what it is. We like to talk about our children and our pets. Maybe you have both, maybe you have either or. Aha, number 7, people like to talk about food. Food is a social thing, you know. We need food to survive, right? But food is definitely something you can eat while you're having a conversation, but it's also something a topic that you can talk about. Like, "How did you make that? Oh, this is delicious." We have so many opinions on whether it's good, it's not good, if it needs more seasoning. "Oh, it's so bland." "Oh, who like, where did it come from?" Like, food is it's a great topic to talk about. It's great to eat while you're having a conversation too. So, people like talking about food. And number 8, people like talking most about other people. That's why it's in my topic line. Average people are talking about you. Granted, it says people in general like talking about other people. Why did I use average? Well, because right after I researched about what people like talking about most, the next topic was what do average people talk about? And I was like, okay, so there's people and then there's average people. Well, what are average people? What does Google think average people is or are? Correct my grammar. So, what do average people talk about? Daily life, hobbies and interests, current events, and relationships. Pretty similar to these top 8 topics that people in general like talking about. However, average people, on average, only talk about 4 topics. But listen to the definition. Daily life is discussions about work, school, family, or daily routines. They're up in the top 8, right? Hobbies and interests. Sharing experiences about books, movies, music, sports, or other leisure activities. Sports is in the top 8. Environment and surroundings is in the top 8. Other people is in the top 8. Daily routines. Well, family, their children or pets, that's in the top 8. Daily routines, what would we think that one would be under? Hmm. Themselves, things they hate or dislike. I still think they should have, but again, this isn't my list. This is Google's list. And we have to think about where does Google get their lists from? Other people. Is it average people? Who did they interview? Who took these surveys? Current events is talking about news, trends, or significant events happening locally or globally, which goes back to number 3 of the top 8 current events on the news and or popular television shows they're watching. And number 4, relationships. Other people, themselves. They just managed to take the top 8 topics that people talk about, and for average people, they condensed it into 4 topics. So then I said to myself, okay, what do they mean by an average person? An average person is someone who is typical or normal or who is about midway between extremes. However, there is no single definition of an average person because people are unique individuals with a wide range of characteristics. Explanation. I don't know. Did you want to learn about average people? That's what today's topic is. Characteristics. The average person may have a certain height, weight, income, or other characteristics. However, it's difficult to identify all the characteristics that make someone average. So basically, average used as an adjective, there's no such thing as an average person from my perspective. But then again, we'll keep going. Social class. The average American may be described as middle or working class. However, social classes are not distinct. So the average American may have a status that falls between lower middle and upper working class. So basically, you're telling me that a person in general can talk about these 8 topics. But there's no such thing as an average person because everybody is unique. However, when it comes to social class, that's where they get you. Traits. Average people may be adaptable, flexible, hardworking, and persistent. They may also have a realistic and grounded perspective on life. Again, average person is a person in general. Reality. The average person is unlikely to exist because it's difficult to identify all the characteristics that make someone average. Those are the explanations for what an average person is. Basically, using the terminology average only refers back to your social class. That's just what I'm getting from this research. So then I asked the question, what are the traits of an average person? Even though we just read it in the explanation, but this is the other definition I got. Average people can be highly adaptable and flexible, as they may have to deal with unexpected challenges more often. Average people tend to have a realistic and grounded perspective on life. Average people are often hardworking and persistent, as they may have to work harder to achieve their goals. I still think it ties back into the social class. Then we get into the 8 characteristics of average people. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm wearing wampum. My girlfriend made these for me for my birthday. So, wampum is a shell, a quahog shell, made into jewelry by the indigenous Native Americans. So, particular here where I am in Rhode Island, made by the Narragansett Indian tribe members and the Mashpee in Massachusetts and the Pequots in Connecticut. That's where I get my quahog wampum shells and jewelry. They're actually made for me from the people of the tribe. 8 characteristics of average people. Average people are always busy. Average people claim they aren't money-minded. Average people need frequent entertainment. Average people want guarantees. Average people are driven by statistics. Average people have big plans but little action. Average people blame others. Average people don't take responsibility. I got these 8 characteristics of average people from off of a website from Kumar Gaurav, Gauraw. He is a personal branding and social media strategist, helping entrepreneurs and skilled professionals achieve personal and professional success by developing leadership and leveraging the power of the internet, blogging, and social. Now, well, just because I like to give credit where credit's due, I didn't write that. It was on Google, but it came from his blog. And one of the quotes that I read on his first page, it says, there are 2 kinds of people in the world as we perceive: successful people and those who are unsuccessful. But there is a third kind, which we know as average people. So again, I still think it falls into social class. Like, that's the only thing that can quantify what an average person is. And here he did the 8 characteristics of average people. And this is what we should all avoid if we desire to join the club of successful people. So, based on these 8 characteristics of always busy, claim they aren't money minded, need frequent entertainment, want guarantees, are driven by statistics, have big plans but little action, blame others, and don't take responsibility. His blog is basically saying that those 8 characteristics of average people are not going to help you if you're surrounding yourself around those people. That's basically what it's saying. Do I agree or not agree? To an extent. To an extent. But yeah, that's our topic about averages as average does. So I have a lot going on my desk right now. I did bring out my love bombs, my love affirmators, and my drive and my listen bitch and daily positive thoughts and affirmations. I don't know, something was telling me I needed to get on here and I needed to get these messages out. I've been like everyone, like most people, when the new year comes, it's like new me, new year, new me, whatever, however you say it. I wanted to organize. And so I started going through boxes of memorabilia that I have not had a chance to go through in like years. And from each box I was going through, I found different pieces of things. And to the average person or to people on YouTube, they're really like, what are you talking about? So to me, I'll show you what I found. How I read it is completely my own perception, you know? So I found the Minecraft game, okay? And I look at this in a certain way. I found Pokemon cards. My kids, I have kids. So I found Pokemon cards, right? In different places. I found Skrelp, Corsola, Shelder, Dunsparce, Honedge, Rattata, I found more CDs. I found Kung Fu Panda, Xbox 360. And in between Kung Fu Panda, I found another Pokemon card, which was the Blade, followed by Indiana Jones, followed by Saints Row. And I leave these exactly like I read them. So then I have here the charm bracelet. This charm bracelet says love, luck, and luck is surrounded by love. It's my daughter's. And the word honest. Then I found a TP. I know, Sherry, you're nuts. Some Indians. Some cowboys. I found a canoe with a spark plug, a star bracelet, a heart charm, and a locket. A locket with 2 doves on the outside and nothing in the locket. But there's something in the locket. And then I found a quarter. This quarter from the United States of America, right? In God we trust, right? And on the back, I can't see my glasses. On the back, it says, yes, I'm at a stage in my life where I need glasses. Harper's Ferry, John Brown's Fort. And this quarter was, it says 2016. All of this stuff I just showed you was stuff that as I was cleaning through and throwing things away, something had me grab them. And I sat and I read them. Now, with this quarter in God we trust, right? The ferry automatically brought me to my home, which is where the Block Island Ferry is. And then I looked up Harper's Ferry, which brought me to this place in Virginia, which had the word fort in it. Now, we have a memorial, Fisherman's Memorial. Across the street is Fort Greene. The Fisherman's Memorial back in the day was a fort for the war. and it's located in what us as people of this environment or state, it's called the point, right? Whether it's Sherry get to the point, but the point is also called Galilee. Galilee, if you read in biblical terms, what is Galilee? And across the water where the ferry goes is another land point called Jerusalem. So if you look that up in the Bible, do you see where I'm saying? Like, so that's how I read things. I know people will be like, Sherry, you're crazy. No, yeah, whatever. I believe what I believe. I can go deeper into it, but I didn't want to necessarily talk about myself. All right, so we will get on. I've got my evil eye bracelet that my sister gave me and my star. I have them with me whenever I do the sip and think. All right. Just to give you a little update of what I got going on. All right. So, first things first is I really think that I need a love affirmator. So, my affirmators from Knock Knock, loving relationships. I already shuffled these. Yell at me if you want to see me shuffle them, but I already shuffled them, okay? So, the first card is Sensuality. Embracing sensuality doesn't necessarily mean you're a middle aged swinger. It simply means you're savoring one of the coolest aspects of being alive, sensory input. It's time to get decadent and reward yourself with gifts for the senses. You could drop a wad of cash on champagne and chocolate, or you could tune in and enjoy the incredible gifts around you, the taste of an orange, the sounds of the forest, the texture of corduroy. I don't know your life. The point is, it's time to savor whatever your senses can grab a hold of, even if that means you're being sensual. Gross. It's a bonus card. Benefit of the doubt. I believe in the basic goodness of other people, and I give them the chance to show it. If they prove me wrong, that's on them. At least I can go to sleep knowing that I practice trust and forgiveness rather than fear and doubt. And later on, if I need to, I can always change my mind and retroactively judge them like it's my career. So, to me, I'm taking this as I need to look at a situation and give the individual the benefit of the doubt. Grace. I face disagreements with grace. You're talking to me, aren't you? It's me and my spirit guides. And flow through the ups and downs of my relationships without getting thrown off center. With grace, I'm able to keep my cool, be my best self, and not resort to name calling, even when that crappy poo poo face is being a douchey barf monster. Enjoy the incredible gifts around me. The point is, it's time to savor whatever your senses can grab a hold of, even if that means being sensual. Benefit of the doubt. I believe in basic goodness of other people. I truly do. And I need to give them a chance to show it. But if they prove me wrong, that's on them, not me. And I need to face some disagreements with grace and not allowing those disagreements to throw me off balance. I hear you. Listen, bitch. Choose you every time. Know your worth. Don't let people disrespect you. But that's the challenge. When it's someone that you truly, truly, truly deeply care for and they disrespect you and they won't take accountability for their disrespect, I have to choose me and let them know it's disrespectful. How are they going to learn if no one's there to teach them that, right? Life lessons. I told my girlfriend the other day, death is hard, but living is harder. Why? Because we are emotional beings. Listen, bitch, you're tougher than your toughest day. I appreciate that. It's a snake here. Listen, bitch, the things that you say to yourself matter, so be kind. Sometimes it's hard to be kind to ourselves when we take a look inward and we think that we did something wrong and we're trying to figure out, okay, what did I do wrong? How can I correct it? How can I change it? And sometimes it's not you. Sometimes we have to accept the fact that it's not you and that it may be them. It may be the people you're communicating with. They can't see what it is that they're doing because they're in tunnel vision. They're not looking at it from the outside in. And a lot of times when we're hurt, we're like trying to protect ourselves so much. And nobody wants to look at themselves from the outside in. But until you do, that's when you can see things from a different perspective. Okay. Daily positive thought and affirmation. I enjoy the richness of life. Abundance is everywhere I look, and I always have more than enough of everything I need. So even when I fall to my knees and I'm crying and hurt, all of a sudden this boat arrives with a spark plug. I live by the water. My family are fishermen. My uncle just passed away. My dad, my dad was a mechanic. He knew how to build engines, both boat engines, car engines. He taught classes. And these two birds reminded me of my dad and my uncle in heaven. And they were telling me that I'm a star. And that they're always in my heart. Daily positive thoughts and affirmation. I am always guided, supported, and led toward the highest good. I surrender to this loving energy and trust everything coming my way. Look at that star. They're guiding me. My love bomb. Your child has excellent manners. Great job. Thanks. They do. I do believe that I did a good job. And how I know this is I found my son's citizenship award. And the citizenship award went to a student that was dependable, demonstrates respect for people and property, follows the classroom and school rules. And that was in 5th grade. So proud of my sweetheart. So I did something right. I appreciate your honesty. Honest. That's what's on this charm. Your creativity is inspiring. Thank you. I'm trying to express myself with my creativity. I do other things, like I have my Buddha candles. It's my Mother Earth. She's missing part of her over here. She's missing part of her leg. Mother Earth. Those are just the ones that I have right here in front of me. I will never forget you. Anything I'm going through and anything that you're going through, please know that this too shall pass. You'll heal. And one day you'll look back and be like, oh my God, I never want to go back that way. Or, oh my God, remember when, and laugh. Drive. What's going to help drive us forward? Once you stop chasing the wrong things, the right ones catch you. Once you stop chasing the wrong things, the right ones catch you. So, what I've recently learned is that I can't keep dwelling into why someone would do something to me, or I can't try to figure out why they do what they do, why they feel the way that they feel. And the reason is because I'm not that individual. I am responsible for me and what I do. So if I continue to chase and try to figure out what causes a person to not want to be around me, then that's only going to hinder my growth. I need to turn inward and look at Sherry and say, Sherry, you need to focus on you. You need to know what you're worth. There's so much that you possess. I'm not possessed, but there's so much inside of me that I possess that is good. Not everyone may see me as a good person, and I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with people putting me down, but I also have to know my worth. I have to know my worth. Otherwise, I'm going to sink with those who want to sink. Meaning that if someone doesn't want to be in my life, I have to let them not be in my life. I can't force them to be in my life. There's a reason why they don't want to be in my life. I don't know what it is. If I had the answer, I believe me, I'd be able to figure out the solution. But if I keep dwelling on it, keep dwelling on it, and keep dwelling on it, and focus on that person and what they're thinking and why they don't like me, then I'm not focusing on myself. You may think that's cold, but it's not. If I know I'm a good person, then I have to be a good person. Those who want to be around me or be in my life will be around me and be in my life, no matter how hard it is. And believe me, I cry a lot. Believe me. For reasons that I feel as though I shouldn't be crying. Like I shouldn't even be dealing with this particular situation. Like, I wish I could tell you what it is, but unfortunately, I don't want to share that part of my hurt and my wound with everyone on YouTube. And everyone goes through their own trials and tribulations and their own pain. I'm not here to judge. You deal with it the way you need to deal with it. You're an individual. I think a lot of times we forget that there is free will and not everybody is on the same growth path. I am where I am because of my experiences and my growth. You know, I enjoy the richness of life. Abundance is everywhere I look. And I always have more than enough of everything I need. Everything I need is right here in Sherry. Everything that you need is within you. You have to have faith in yourself. And I can only be here saying this to you today if it wasn't for my angels and my guides that just said, we want you to know that we're here. We love you and we're going to be here for you. You're not alone. I cried when I saw all this stuff that I was showing you with the charms and the boat and the cowboys and Indians and the Kung Fu Panda and the Minecraft and you know I started crying because I knew it as a sign from my dad. To me, it was my dad telling me the ancestors are here with me and they're proud of me. And I should be proud of me too. And it's not my fault if other people don't see the goodness in me. But I can tell you is they got my back. I can tell you that. Save nothing for the swim back. All I see with this is swim, ocean. Go on that adventure, Sherry. Let go of the past and begin anew. That's what I got from this, right? When your past calls, don't answer. It has nothing new to say. Let go of the past. You're not that little girl anymore. That little girl has nothing to say, right? No, that's not what it means. Basically, when you start sprouting, if you're a plant and your seed is watered and fed, it has that TLC, right? And it starts sprouting and growing. The other seeds that did not sprout may try to grab on to the one that is sprouting. And if you've grown, let's say you're both in the ground and you grew, this one is your past. And it's trying to reach out. And they're saying, no, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. They don't want you to grab that because that didn't get you anywhere. You need to let it go. Letting go is very hard for me, but that's what I got from that. I could go deeper and say that's because, some people grow, other people stay the same. And, if other people stay the same and you grow and they call you because they see you doing well, I know you're saying, yeah, that's it. That means don't answer the call because they're still the same. They're still going to come up with the same story, same bullshit, You've outgrown it. You've grown. Anyways, so how was that for tonight? Not bad. I talked about myself. I talked about others. I talked about the weather. I didn't really talk about sports that much, did I? I was trying to see if I could do an averages. Average people are talking about you. I was trying to see if I could hit these 8 topics about talking about myself, the environment, current events, stuff I hate or dislike, sports, my children or pets, food, and other people. That was my job. Did I do okay? Let me know. All right. Have a good one. We'll come up with more topics. Enjoy.